With great power comes great responsibility. My content existed because I tried my very hardest to be an absolute and utter realist, especially with uncomfortable truths. I was pointing out that very uncomfortable.
Is that a truth?
It's an uncomfortable truth in many parts of the world. It's not a truth that I'm happy about. I don't want to be seen as a negative influence in the world. I know that there's a whole bunch of men. I get thousands of emails a week from men whose lives I've saved. I get thousands of emails a week from men who are on the verge of suicide and I've saved their lives.
Awesome.
I believe in protecting and providing. I've been misunderstood. I don't want anybody to be offended by anything I say. I want to be a positive force in the world. I don't want anybody to hear what I say and make them feel bad about themselves. I want all people to live righteous and good, whether they're male or female. I think righteous is living true to your heart and knowing that you're doing good by people, not snaking anybody, not lying to anybody.
But the
government's
I can't shoot some video.
and this is why it's so important as a person you take personal
People
responsibility.
they wait for me. People they wait for me online. I've started giving them some nice back to
Take
content.
responsibility and do it. I refuse to
Yeah,
accept
this
that
one
there are
is
people out there
forbidden
who cannot
analysis.
become happy, contented.
So, Charlie,
I refuse to
I'll
accept
call you
that
back. I'll call you back.
God is
Yeah,
created.
just send you.
No matter how hard they work and how good their life becomes, can't be happy.
There are a lot of noise out there, there are a lot of lies, there are a lot of manipulations out there from people who actually claim to be mentors. But today I'm going to put you up with some realities that you're going to face in the financial market. And that is what majority of you don't understand. That when you talk about financial market trading, it doesn't really limit that stance to the forex market. It might take you just the 8th or the 9th year for you to get everything that is due you, because they've seen people driving Lambos on the internet, they've seen people living in big houses, they've seen people driving Mercedes on the internet. There's one thing that I can tell you, that if you come here with a long-term plan, the market is going to favor you in the end. What is happening? What is happening down here? All these things are happening down here because a lot of people are truly gullible on the internet. So today I have a story to share with you guys. I know majority of you on the internet have actually been lied to about a lot of things when it comes to financial market and trading. There are a lot of noise out there, there are a lot of lies, there are a lot of manipulations out there from people who actually claim to be mentors. But today I'm going to put you up with some realities that you're going to face in the financial market by telling you my story about how I went from $0 probably in 2016 to making my first million around 2020. So I had already started learning how to trade because my trading journey actually started in 2014. So in 2014, I was just a student. I was just learning. I was just going through the market, learning everything that I could learn because I really fell in love with the market. I really fell in love with trading. And this is what I actually decided that I want to really do. So fast forward in 2016, I was still pretty much broke. I was staying with friends. I was actually living on bigger salaries and all of that because I had a couple of works that I was doing. I had a couple of things that I was doing on the streets that was fetching me peanuts probably. With all that, I still had a dream. I still had a goal that I wanted to become a financial market trader. So all that while I was still learning, even though I didn't really have the capital to trade, I didn't really have the cash flow coming from anywhere that I would use to really enter the market. But that didn't really stop me from actually taking my lessons really serious. So like I said, from 2016, I was still broke. I was still pretty much average, but I was still learning. I was still on with my education. Fast forward in 2016, ending of 2016, 2017, that was when I actually delved deep into the crypto market because during the 2016 bull market, I actually had a couple of Bitcoin. I actually had some Bitcoin because that time Bitcoin was pretty much like $600 per coin. In 2016, I remember in June 2016, Bitcoin was pretty much like $600 per coin. But back in the end of 2016, going to the first few months of 2017, that was when we had that super bull cycle in the crypto market. That Bitcoin went from that range to about 17,800 as the all-time high. So during all that period, I had actually taken my financial market education very serious. I was deep balls down in the financial market thing, but even though I wasn't really trading any kind of big money in the forex market, But I had quite, some money in the crypto market as well, because I found out that was that market that had that rapid growth, that I can actually grow small capital to a large amount of capital, which I can later bring it back to my trading account, or bring it back to my trading journey. And I found out later that this wasn't wrong. I was right at the end, because all the money that I was getting from the other things that I was doing, I was actually pumping all of that into the crypto market, because I remember that time I was having Ethereum, I was having Bitcoin, I was having a couple of gems that time, SRP and all of that. So at the top end of the bull market in 2016, December 2016, entering into the first few months of 2017, I think that was when things started picking up for me. By the time the bull market actually ended in around February, March, that was when I was actually holding my first $100,000 in the market, right? And at that time, it didn't really come from the forex market. It came from the crypto market. But the first $100,000 came. But the question was, what was I going to do with the first $100,000 that I've actually made in the market? So I was split in two minds, that whether I should get that money back into the forex market or still stay in the crypto market. And looking at market patterns, I found out that in the crypto market, when we enter into a new bear market, it actually takes like 2.5 years to 3 years for us to get back into the next bull market. And at that time, I didn't really want to risk sending that money back to the forex market, because I was still pretty much a new trader anyway. I still wasn't experienced enough in the market for me to feel that I'm going to be really consistent in the market. So what did I do back then? Well, I had to still stay in the crypto market, because I felt that was a market that, was going to work for me. I felt that was a market that I was going to actually invest matching to build up enough capital. I had actually been able to grow 100,000 portfolio to about I think about 360 something thousand back then. I think in 2019, from 2016 to 2019. That was when I actually found my feet in the market as well. Even though I didn't put all 100,000 back in the crypto market, but I still had a substantial amount of my capital in the crypto market. I was trading, I think, about a $20,000 account in the forex market. And even though I didn't really have that consistency that I really wanted, as a trader in the forex market, but back in 2017, 2018 going, that was when I really, really found my feet in the forex market. And I remember a few quite amount of times that I went on serious home runs that, at one point, I felt I had reached that point where now consistency is with me, and now I was really owning up to a lot of decisions that I was making in the forex market. So back then, I think I remember back in 2017, ending of 2017, going to 2018, when I had grown about a $20,000 forex account to about a $140,000 account. And that was when, I started feeling invisible, because at that time, the forex market was working for me, and the crypto market was working for me as well. But this is what I want people to understand, that we are all out there on social media seeing all these guys talking about, how the forex market can make you rich, how the forex market can take you from nobody to somebody within the shortest possible time. Yes, that pretty much might be true, but these guys are not really telling you about what is actually behind the scenes, or what really goes into that. Because I remember that in 2019, a young guy making my first $100,000 in the market in 2019, majority of you would have gone out there, buy luxury cars and all of that, because that time $100,000 could have bought me a Range Rover. $100,000 could have bought me, a lot of, classes of Mercedes. But what did I do? I didn't even touch that money. I had to put that money all back into the market. And I remember that the only amount that I took out of the 100,000 back then was about, I think, $2,000 to $3,000 for my living expenses. The remaining money went back into the market. But if it was you back then, you would have bought a Benz. If it was you back then, you would have bought a Range Rover probably to try to impress the street. By that time, I knew where I was going. I knew where I was going. I knew the dream that I had. So I just felt like, okay, this is what I'm up to, and this is how I need to build on my first success that I had in the market. And fast forward, it was one of the best decisions that I made in my entire life. And doing that really, really helped me. And one thing that, that really helped me is that when I was learning how to trade, my focus was not solely on learning how to trade, learning how to read charts, learning how to read the candles, and learning how to do all those things. I really wanted to be a financial market trader. I didn't want to be a forex trader anyway, but I really wanted to be a financial market trader. And that is what majority of you don't understand. That when you talk about financial market trading, it doesn't really limit that stance to the forex market, because the financial market is big enough. Because we have the forex market, we have the bonds market, we have the stock market, we have the commodities market, and all of that. And they all come together to form part of the financial market. That is why we have something we call the global financial market. But down here, when we talk about financial market, it's only the forex market that people actually understand, or people actually, get to delve in. But during that time, I was really learning deep basis economics, right? Because I felt like if I'm really going to succeed in the market, I really need to get some serious knowledge across board that is actually going to help me to maneuver my way across different markets at the same time. So when I touched my first $100,000 in the market, I wasn't really, some good trader who was holding that kind of money, but I was actually a very financially literate trader who knew how to allocate funds, who knew how to use money, who knew how to control and manage money as well. And that really helped me. That was really a game changer for me, because during that time, I really made use of that $100,000 that really in the next few years blew up my financial career, blew up my trading career as well. Because I did a whole lot of things, a whole lot of stuff with that money in the market that I felt that the average person couldn't have done that, because the average person seeing $100,000 for the first time, probably you might have been enticed into just moving to a bigger apartment, get some nice cars for yourself, which is not entirely wrong. But when you know what you are going, when you know that this is the financial status that you want to achieve in the next few years, or in the next years, you take calculated steps in your financial journey. Because at that time, I was actually living in a one-bedroom apartment, and me touching my first $100,000, it didn't really hit me to actually move from that apartment to a bigger apartment, because I felt that I didn't really need it. The funny thing is this, that you really need that one solid year to go from zero to somebody. Right? To go from grass to great, you really need that one solid year, because you can work throughout the years. It can take you 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, or even 8 years to actually accumulate a skill, to actually learn something. But it might take you just the 8th or the 9th year for you to get everything that is due you. That is what we call value, because when you learn how to accumulate value, you're not actually learning something that is going to ever go to waste, because in the real world, value always pays the best returns. Because once you're trying to learn something, once you're trying to learn a skill, you are actually presuming that in the next few years or in the future times, this is the same skill that is going to make you or propel your career or propel you to the kind of person that you really want to be. So even though I know that it's not everybody who can learn how to trade, it's not everybody who can actually succeed in the financial market or in the forex market, but I can tell you that if you have a clear plan, if you have a very concise game plan that you can approach this business with, you are definitely going to survive, or you're definitely going to succeed. Because a lot of people come into the market would overly overambitious goals and dreams. They're out of touch with reality because of what social media tells them, or because of what these guys try to tell them on social media. So they come into the market, or they come into the forex market not really stood on what they want to learn, but they come here because they've seen people driving Lambos on the internet, they've seen people living in big houses, they've seen people driving Mercedes on the internet, so they want to actually live this life. I'm not trying to tell you that you can't live this life. You definitely can live this life. But what plan do you have? What plan do you have? That is the main question. That's the first question you need to ask yourself. That are you coming into this game with a clear plan? That this is what I want to achieve in the next 5 years, because you can do whatever you want. You can have a goal, you can have a plan, you can have everything. I don't know the goals that you have. I don't know the dreams that you have. I don't know whether you have a 9-to-5 job that you really want to learn how to trade and you use trading as your part-time work or a side work. I don't know whether you have a 9-to-5 job as well, but in the next 5 years or in the next 10 years, you really want to quit this job and become a trader. I don't know the kind of dream or the kind of goal that you have, because I don't know you. I don't even know you. But one thing that I can tell you in general, all of you, no matter your goals, no matter your dreams, no matter your aspirations in the market and everything, there's one thing that I can tell you, that if you come here with a long-term plan, the market is going to favor you in the end. And that is for sure. That is 100% for sure. But if you come here just because you've seen one influencer on Instagram or one influencer on Snapchat telling you that you need to buy his course, you need to buy his signal, you need to buy join his Telegram so that you can be rich in the next 6 months, I promise you 100% that you will not survive in this game. Trust me, majority of these influencers or these people actually trying to tell you these things on the internet are not actually profitable traders. Some of them have been trading for 2 years, some of them have been trading for 3 years. And it's very sickening, because a few days ago, I saw on the internet, I saw on Snapchat, that a guy who has been pestering me for over a year for me to teach him how to trade, for me to even mentor this guy. And right now, as I'm talking to you, this guy has a Telegram channel that people are joining his channels, him buying signals from other traders and putting in his channel. What is happening? What is happening down here? All these things are happening down here because a lot of people are truly gullible on the internet, because they will do everything and anything just to also feel like they belong. Because I think the title of me being a trader is what really entices them. The title of me being a financial market player is what they really want. Because when you go to Instagram, everybody has FX, attach his name, all this FS bullshit that you guys are adding to your name. Can you translate that in the market? When we come into the market, when we step into the real world in the market, can you actually make this count? Can you actually make the FS that you have attached to your name count? That is the question that you need to be asking yourself. It's not about you adding FS to your name. FS is just an abbreviation, in the market. It's not about you adding it to your name. The fact that someone has FS added to his name doesn't mean the person is a trader. The fact that someone has some funny name or, crafting some funny jargons on Instagram and on Snapchat doesn't mean these people are traders. Majority of these people are not traders. So today, I'm talking to you like that guy. I'm talking to you like that guy who went from absolutely nothing to the life that I'm living now. I started like you, but the problem is I didn't go out there chasing illusions and the fallacies that we have on the internet like you are doing. So if you want to learn how to trade, you have to get back to reality. That is what I'm here to tell you today. Get back to reality. Sit your ass down and ask yourself a lot of questions. That are you really ready for this journey? When you remember that this is what you're coming from, this is the career path that you're coming from, and this is what you really want to learn, that is fine. That is a good step to start with. But what plan do you have? Do you really have a plan? If trading doesn't work for you, do you really have a plan B, or do you have any plan outside the market? That is what you need to be asking yourself. Forex is not a scam. If it is a scam, the banks wouldn't be doing that with your money. If it's a scam, all these billionaires wouldn't be doing that with your money. So get back to reality. Sit your ass down and get some knowledge going. I hope to see you on the other side soon.